and thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots.
With like cheese, and then they like melt the cheese and has like goat cheese and chives and egg on top.
Okay, we gotta stop.
Go, Stephanie. Yeah.
I'm getting hungry.
One of the bartenders would come to Cowtown. I'd be like, "Oh no, I'm craving it. Thank you."
We still have one here. I wonder if they've got that on the menu.
No, they do.
Oh shit!
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go.
Downtown.
I think I know where I'm having dinner tonight.
Yeah.
All of our information on sponsors and upcoming events can be found at the very end of this episode. Real quick, I do want to highlight Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk, a valued sponsor of the Fort Worth Roots podcast. We just had the weirdest storm blow through here today. It's currently Thursday, the 16th, and I don't know if a tornado touched down or not. I know I got 1,000 text messages of people asking if I was okay, if there was a tornado, how big the hail was. I had somebody text me and say that hail in Weatherford was the size of oranges. Anyway, Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk. You can call him and get 50% off of a roofing tune-up, which would be perfect for a situation like this because he'll get on your roof, find damage. If he can fix it for the fee of the roofing tune-up, he'll just go ahead and fix it. If not, he'll get off the roof and say, hey, I can't fix it for that amount. Here's some pictures. This is what's going on with your roof. Pretty handy service right after a storm like that. If you suspect at all you had any kind of damage. Again, that's Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk. You can find them online, roofingsolutionshouk.com, or you can get them on the phone at 817-692-8496. And then there is an event that I want to tell you about because it's happening tomorrow. This is a special episode, by the way. We got a little bit of a backlog, so I'm trying to give you 2 episodes a week. We always release one on Monday, but this week you're getting one on a Thursday night. But tomorrow, the 17th, out at Pouring Glory, St. Patrick's Shenanigans and Specials. Corned beef and cabbage, $4 Smith Wicks, and $4 happy hour from 3 to 7. And $3 daily draft. Go check that out. That's Pouring Glory. More information on our sponsors and events at the very end of the episode. You can find our guest today on Instagram as Brad Thompson, FW. He is a local musician, one really awesome performer, and just a really sincerely nice guy. And we can't wait to have him back on the show. We also are joined in studio today by our co-host, Stephani Danals. Okay, that's enough talking out of me. Thank you for being here, and please give it up for our guest today, Mr. Brad Thompson. And let's start the show. Well, I try not to, run all my listeners off with an abundant amount of curse words, but sometimes we have guests on here that are just, every word out of their mouth, and I'm just like, okay, I can't edit all that out, So
be a 10-minute interview.
People are just going to have to deal with it.
Okay.
All right, so the episode starts off.
Look at this thing.
Like this.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got Brad Thompson and Stephani Hope Danals here at the Fort Worth Roots studio. Guys and gals, thank you for being here. Good morning. Happy Saturday.
That's how it goes, huh?
Yeah, and now we're doing the thing. How's everybody this morning? Everybody get enough coffee?
Oh, this is the real thing.
We're doing
I thought
it,
this was a practice one.
No, we don't practice.
Here we go. Yeah. What's up, man?
It's all live, baby. Well,
if we did it again, I would probably be better, I think.
You want to do it again?
Yeah,
we'll do it again.
Me and Stephanie are just
here we
blink,
go. Yeah,
blink.
Well, and she knows what's going on for sure. So, all right, here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, I got Brad Thompson and Stephani Hope Danals here at the Fort Worth Roots Studios.
Yeah!
What's going on, guys? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. I love that.
I saw you posting something on Instagram or Facebook yesterday. It looks like you had an event either last night or just recently.
Oh, I think what you saw.
It was a wedding, I think. Looked like a wedding.
It was actually a double birthday party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it was in Dallas.
Couple of besties.
Yeah, it was brothers-in-law. And so you had grandparents, their children, and then the grandkids. So you had 3 generations there. So it was just like a wedding.
Yeah.
And we just wound up ending the show with the classic "Don't Stop Believing."
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm like,
what
it
the
still
video
works.
is, yeah.
It's still
through all generations.
Sometimes it's perfect if you've got the 3 generations of people all singing, and so I was in the middle of the dance floor with my phone just like spinning in a circle thing. I'm just like, this is so fantastic, and you can see everybody. I'm just like, wow.
Well, everybody's having a badass time, it looked like.
Oh, it's so fun.
Is that primarily what you do, is private events for folks here in the DFW area?
I've been doing a lot, and then this year I wanted to get more into public stuff because
like festivals and
because I don't do like a whole lot, especially the band doesn't seem to do a lot of public shows, and so I'm just trying to get back out there.
And it is the Brad Thompson band.
Okay. There was an older version called the Undulating Band that
when did that close down?
I guess, I mean, it's sort of, it wasn't like an official.
Okay, it's still
stopped.
there.
Yeah. But my original group, which we had a reunion show just this month, that was from like 92 to 99.
Okay.
And we were called the Undulating Band. And you know, I say we toured a lot. It was just us booking ourselves, but all over the country. So we did it. We were doing it. We were young. You know, nobody was married yet. We could just like, and nobody, you know, rent was cheap. So we were just like,
let's do it.
Let's do it. And so by the end of that decade, my drummer Rich Stitzel moved to Chicago, and my bass player, and my bass player Aiden Bubeck, he ultimately went on tour with Miranda Lambert, but there were a couple acts between there that
awesome.
Is Max Stalling. But so at that point, I regrouped in the early 2000s, literally regrouped, and new lineup, except my guitar player, Paul Metzger, has been through that whole thing from the 90s until present day.
He's always been with you.
Yeah. So that's where it's kind of blurry. It's still sort of Undulating Band. I just don't use it that much unless we're having like a reunion show or there's there's room on the marquee for all of for the whole band name.
Well, I went through a bunch of your social media, and it looked like you were extremely active during COVID as far as making videos and trying to increase your social media presence. I guess a lot of artists did that.
I had to, or I was going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
And how did y'all do that? It looked like it was pretty seamless, but Stephanie was telling me that maybe it was remote and you guys were collaborating remotely.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was total, it was desperation. It was, what it started out as, it was, March, April of 2020. And, early March, all of my gigs just, boom, all gone. Yeah. I'm going to burp. Oh,
no,
man.
go ahead.
Do it.
In fact, I think I need to adjust the camera. What's this thing doing?
Okay, I don't know.
Just now people have live video. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. That's okay.
Need the red blinking light.
Yeah. I thought I had it going. That's the worst catastrophe I've had with the video camera in a while. I've been doing pretty good.
It's not bad.
Anyway. Yeah, so a lot of musicians had to adapt and find a new way to reach their audience because all your gigs got closed down, and now you got to
all of them
kind of pivot, right?
Yeah, and the weird thing is, it was just the only gig that stayed was the church gig that I play on Sundays. It's the Methodist Church in downtown Fort Worth. That was the only. Well, and they quit meeting live also, but we went to a video format or streaming like all the other churches.
So they kept you going, just there was nobody in the pews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we started meeting, and we're like, can you, they're asking, Brad, can you guys still like do music somehow? And, at the very beginning, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Open the windows. Let's go.
Yeah. I'd never done a video. I'd never done anything. And so we started kind of basic, and then I opened up video editing software, which I didn't even know the name. I didn't know any of that stuff.
Never done any of it.
And then luckily, because that church job was every Sunday, and it would be 1 or 2 videos a week. Yeah. And it was just like, start another one, finish it, and so, how else do you get good at something?
Right, repetition.
But just serious, unstopping repetition.
Yeah.
Well, some of the ones with the band were pretty good. Pretty good videos. I wondered who was putting them together, so that's cool to
It was
know.
so cool. It was 15 months of
perfecting it.
zero idea what you're doing to I finally I bought used Logic so I could do like audio mixing because we were just playing into our phone's microphone.
Yeah, which doesn't come out great.
No, and so we kept stepping it up, and you find out people either had like a home studio or they were real close to making one. So, everybody's buying like a pretty decent studio mic. We're still doing the video on our phones, but at least people are running it through some of their gear in their house.
Well, the audio is what's important.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And it got
sounded
there.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By
that's
the
what I'm
summer.
saying. That's why I wondered who was putting the videos together.
It was crazy.
So you had never even taken a basic video and used like a program and tried to match up the audio and...
Oh, shit. The first videos we did were in freaking iMovie. Like, that's how super novice. That's all I'd heard of.
That's what I used the first time I put a video together, like in 2005.
Yeah. And, my wife's like, she had done it. She's like, well, at least this. I start you here, you'll be fine. And so I'm iMovieing these things. And it was just like, that got really, pretty quickly you were like, man, I need to find something a little more robust, as they say. I mean, it's a cool app, but yeah, I started there and then finally went to the Adobe like Premiere Pro, like the I guess the more well-known video editing stuff.
And now you could teach a class on it.
Well, I know what about 10 or 11 buttons do, and so that's all you need, really.
Yeah. And same with me when I'm putting videos together. It's got so many functions on it.
Oh,
and I'm paying for all of that.
Yeah.
But I don't need... but maybe a tenth of what they provide on that program.
Yeah, I just need it to all come together and maybe some transitions that aren't clunky. And, lining up everybody's audio with their video stuff. So, then I started doing more lip syncing instead of like live singing, which both are fun and cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like, we could get out in Fort Worth and... lip sync this stuff in the water gardens in my street.
That's what I was going to ask next. So like the one like in the rain and that was like one of my favorite ones you put out. But so you were lip syncing all of those and then just putting them together after.
Yeah, it's like a pretty much any music video you've seen.
That's how you do
syncing.
it. Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never done it. Let's give it a shot. So Summer Live, which that was a trick too. Like we would go somewhere and remotely have microphones just out of the screen, and run the guitar direct where you can't see the cable, so it would appear, so you wouldn't see any of the recording stuff. But the one in the rain and different ones like that, it's total. It's so our kids were home from school, so one kid grabbed a Bluetooth speaker, and his phone, and he would crank the song from there out of the screen so that I could sing along. And then the other kid, we bought the what's the
gimbal?
Gimbal. We bought a gimbal and hooked the phone in it so it could do all the like floaty.
Man, that changes everything, doesn't it?
So one kid's like gimbal, and one kid's like doing this, and it's just like, take it again, another take, until something like looked cool. And that's us. We were in the near south side.
It looked so cool.
Yeah, where all the murals and construction and stuff is, and downtown and Magnolia. I mean, I started like looking at finding all the cool murals and graffiti around town because there's some really awesome.
I've got your Instagram pulled up for the people that are listening to this. Where can they go see these videos? I know you're on YouTube, right?
Oh yeah, I put pretty much all of them on YouTube.
Yeah. Look at there. Pool Live Crew follows you.
Hey, they are
Instagram.
What's fun too? Two of the Poos are neighbors of mine.
Which ones?
Scott, Vanilla Rice, and John Davis. So Scott's just right around the corner.
Scott was on the show, and then we had a John Hendricks.
Oh yeah.
So the leg.
Man, they're the best.
They're so much fun, man.
Have you played shows with them? No.
Okay. I'm glad you asked, Stephanie.
I was trying to remember.
I think the Poo Live Crews might need to double check this for me, but this is when they very, very first started. We played a party on Eagle Mountain Lake.
Nice.
And I'm almost certain it was like their first gig. Okay. So it's a slightly different lineup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like they've kind of mutated throughout the years into what we're going to see February 4th. They've got a badass
Oh yeah,
show coming, So that's
but I'm fairly certain that was their first show or one of their first shows, and we played it together at a house party over here in Fort Worth. But that was 25 years ago or something.
Okay, so it was a house. It wasn't like the floating restaurant out there that burnt down.
No, yeah. It wasn't a venue. But we've never done a show together. I would love that. They're fantastic.
I'm sure they'd
I feel
be
like
down.
y'all played at some of the same places for sure.
Yeah, and I steal from them all the time too, so there's that.
Big man to just come right out and admit it.
Dude, you steal. I mean, they're fantastic at what they do.
They are. By the time this releases February 4th, will already have occurred, and I'll have some videos for that, so people can go to the Fort Worth Roots Facebook page and see videos from that event. But they're going to blow out the Ridgely Theater.
Ridgely.
Yeah, they rented that whole thing out. So
It was an annual thing, but then they had to stop during
Right.
COVID or something,
Yeah,
but it's
for
back
sure.
now.
I think this might be the first year back. Maybe.
Yeah, it may be, yeah.
Yeah. They might have done it last year, but I think he was telling me that this is the first time they've done anything like this.
Yeah,
on
last
this
year a lot of
level.
places were still opening back up. Like even restaurants weren't full on,
Yeah.
so they might not have.
So
Especially that number of people, you know.
Yeah.
on Instagram, find Brad Thompson at Brad Thompson FW, all one word. And then is there? See if there's a link for.
Oh, for YouTube?
Doesn't look like it, but there's a link for your website. Is there a YouTube link on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can whittle their way through your Instagram to get to those videos, but I'll also put your YouTube link in there so they can just click on that and see these badass videos you put together. So do you have any like residencies, or is there anything regular for you here in Fort Worth?
I did. I was the Sunday night guy at the Flying Saucer at the
Is that
original location.
Oh yeah, I was like, I didn't know
man.
you were at the new one. That's where I first. Saw
That's
you.
right. Back then, that was Nate and all them. Yeah. Oh,
so that building's been blown down and they've already reconstructed something else there, right?
yeah. It was the Bird Cafe or something. But yeah, that was back every Sunday night, man.
Oh, so that was part of Sundance Square. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it had the little rooftop, like outdoor area.
Yeah.
And that's where he would play a lot.
Yeah.
Man,
That's a cool little spot. They've really ruined downtown. I like Sundance Square, I really do, and I'm not trying to talk shit on my favorite city, but the downtown scene has gotten so tragic. You know, they're getting rid of the Riata, and there's a bunch of other like really iconic places that are shutting down. And you know, Flying Saucer was the first big blow. Everybody's like, "You got to be kidding me! They're going to take out that building, that iconic Fort Worth building."
it was an old building.
It just sucked. But, I mean, Sundance Square is nice. So if you like shiny, polished, pretty stuff, it was an upgrade.
And I used to be downtown all the time.
There's just nothing going on down there anymore.
Yeah, I play down there constantly, man. But I actually went downtown just the other night to I forget what it's called. Indulge. Like there's that restaurant.
I haven't been there.
Me neither.
It's a what do you call it? We're a food cooking class.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know. We went down there. There used to be a Piranha Sushi right there, and it's
Right on the corner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like parking, and then but Piranha's gone, and then right next door is that place Indulge, and it's like a little. I think it's open for lunch. Then they got a bunch of wine and stuff, and then over in this corner is like a cooking class. So
Okay. Yeah.
that's how times have changed.
yeah, that's wild.
Downtown used to be like
Well,
party till 2 and everything, and now it's
kind of
cooking
moves
classes.
around a little bit, it seems like. Because, yeah, like you said, downtown used to be pretty poppin'. And then 7th Street, that was a really cool thing for a long time. And now they've destroyed that. You know?
Yeah, I don't go there either.
Very few reasons to go down to that 7th Street area anymore, and that sucks because that was like my favorite place to go. But now we're on the other side of I-30. What is that hospital district? 8th and Magnolia.
Magnolia and Old Main.
Yeah, that whole area is just, I mean, restaurants, bars, lots of cool stuff, and then my favorite place, Pouring Glory, which is off of Main. But then we lost Main at Southside.
I know, man.
That closed down, but somebody else has purchased that building or is renting that building. I'm not sure what the logistics are, but they're about to, yeah, the word is they're going to reopen that under something totally different, but the space will be back. So hopefully musicians will have that place back in their choices of venues to play at, hopefully soon.
Yeah, and then I'm over here on the west side where we just got Fred's moved over there.
Yeah.
And Magnolia Motor Lounge.
We just caught a show there a few weeks ago, but I like their new location. I mean, there's parking.
There's parking now.
It's a little more open. And it looks like they just put up a big tent.
Saw the tent outside.
To accommodate for people that missed the outdoor area at the old Mags.
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to be a cool little spot.
Those are good people, man. They love music.
Yeah, Josh Weathers played there last night.
At Mags?
Oh, yeah.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That was probably a disaster. I imagine it was packed wall to wall.
I don't know.
Well, we went to a Josh Weathers thing not too long ago at the new Tannehill, the new Tim Love.
That place is so cool.
You like it?
It's so cool, man.
I'm gonna have to give it another shot. We went there and it just, I don't know, it was bad vibes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, wasn't really a big fan of it, but
of the sound in the room or something?
No, more the standing and then the way that
it's standing.
The staff was.
And I don't really mind the standing thing so much, but it's just a cold concrete room, and I don't know. It just the way that we were kind of ushered in there, and you could not leave. I mean, they had some rules, man, and you had to follow them. And with the amount of security there, you're like, man, if I F up, they're gonna kick me out.
So you can't leave the venue.
Yeah, I don't know.
Once you paid your ticket or something.
Well, and like Nate and Shelby were there, and like the band ended, and it's like somebody went to the bathroom, and we were gonna look at like my mom and I get T-shirts or something.
Yeah.
And it's like literally they wouldn't let you come back from the bathroom to meet your party. You're like, it just ended. Give us 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
They were like, get the hell out. I mean, like they were like pushing you out the door, and you're like hollering like, hey guys, meet us on the other side. And then when you got to the bar area, they'd kind of let you hang out for a minute there, and it was cold outside, so it's like, they were like pushing you out, and we were like trying to talk
it's like 18
to one of the girls that sang with Josh to see if she'd want to come on the show sometime. Like, have conversations with people, but they were just like, get out. And you're like, this show literally just ended. Like, you wait all that time, you watch it, and then you've got your people here, and you're like, can we talk for 3 minutes?
And of course, the tickets weren't cheap, so it's just it was bad vibes. But I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm excited that there's another venue, and it kind of fills a middle ground too, because I think the idea was, what did Tim Love say? It's supposed to accommodate about 2,000 people. Maybe not that much.
Maybe
less.
It was
500, right? Yeah,
I heard 1,000.
2,000's insane. 1,000?
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's standing. If you put tables in there, probably.
Yeah, 400.
Yeah, I want to say they have some little tables in the back, and then they had like a little upstairs area, but of course that was paying more for it.
There were no tables on our level, on that ground level. I think there may have been an upstairs area with some
the upstairs
tables.
area. So I've been in there twice.
You went upstairs?
But
who do you know?
Yeah, it wasn't for I haven't seen a show there yet.
Oh, okay.
But I've toured it twice, and the suites.
Oh, you've played there?
No, it was just to look at it.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I'm involved in the Ronald McDonald House here in Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
The house is families right near Children's Children's Hospital. Wait, what is it called? All right, never mind.
It's okay. I'll look it up.
So they're planning a big fundraiser in March at Tannehill's. So we were able to tour the venue just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the balcony is amazing. There's 2 giant rows on either side.
Right.
And then in the very back are the suites, and I think there might be like 3 of them, like couches.
And then is there I'm just kind of going back into my foggy memory banks, but above the stage, is there kind of is there a bar up there on that side of it? Or is there a wall there? I can't remember.
So there are bars on the second floor.
Okay.
I think. Well, actually, there's a bar behind the stage.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
It's really nice.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know.
It was tables because there was family sitting here, and then Josh and his family stood up in that open breezeway. Yeah. I don't remember there being a bar up there.
Anyway,
but it is.
I'm gonna have to give it another shot for sure. Maybe we can get some VIP tickets and go upstairs.
Yeah.
See how the other half live.
And there's some seating right at the end of the bar on the ground floor, close to the stage, and then there's also seating behind the sound console at the back of the room.
That's where I was talking about. I thought I remembered there maybe being tables.
And some people that I've talked to
just not
about
being used.
Tannehill have said that there was an issue with the sound, but I mean Josh Weathers sounded great.
Yeah, he did.
So I can't imagine that's still an issue. But anyway.
Oh, it's Cook.
Cooks.
Cook
Okay.
Children's.
Yeah.
So Ronald McDonald House is doing a big show there with seating. It's at the end of March, but we got to go in there and just see what they do when you do rent like a private thing there. And
are you going to be a part of that?
So I have been for it's 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
We've been the opening band for, it was Pat Green one year. And then one year we did it at Billy Bob's. One year it was at the Fort Worth Zoo. So this year I moved over to being on the planning committee.
Oh, sweet.
Which I don't bring a whole lot to the table because I've not really done any planning committees before. But it was very gracious of them to offer that to me. So like for the first time in my whole life, I've been like I'm a volunteer on some kind of board that like really is doing powerful stuff in the community. So I'm like, man, I feel like an adult right now. So I've made all the meetings except one. And most of the time we meet at Ronald McDonald House and we go up there and I mean, there's a bunch of people in the community that are all pulling together to sponsors. And then I've got to look up who the headliner is this year, but it's another country guy. But I mean, raffle, all this kind of stuff. And then like seating and it's, I've been on the performing side of fundraiser type events before, and I know they're huge, and they take a year to plan, and this would be for schools or any kind of nonprofit. But to be on the planning side and to see these people actually meeting, the large meetings are once a month, but there's a lot more meetings going on.
Yeah.
I mean, an entire year.
That's what it takes, man.
To pull off an event. And then when you're there, you get it because I mean, everything has been considered. It is.
Yeah. Well,
it's so cool.
We're doing
Great organization.
We're doing the second annual River Oaks Springfest car show, and it's not a charity organization, but to what you're talking about, the planning that goes into it. Last year they had 5 or 6 meetings before they threw this event. And it was a great turnout. There was a lot of local entities that were involved with that, and some of them are like, I believe CASA and what's Tanya's organization? I'm blanking.
Edna Gladney.
Yeah, Gladney Center and things like that. So it wasn't necessarily a charity event, but a lot of people from the community were brought in. And I think last night, Darren told me that I'm going to have to be in some of these meetings. So
you're going to have to.
I guess I get to feel like an adult in a smaller way, but it's
kind of cool.
It does take a lot of planning, and it's a challenge. And I hope people enjoy coming to these events and kind of getting to benefit from all that hard work that goes into this stuff.
It's eye opening. Like when you're the band for an event, they book you maybe a year out, maybe even further, and then you touch base. And then when you get close to it, there's specifics about, technical things and this and that. But yeah, all the stuff that transpires in that time with the food and the decorations and all that and the venue, it's like it is a monumental task.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something when it gets pulled off too. I've been to a lot of events that you walk in and immediately you're just like, oh, well, that's jacked up. That's jacked up. Nobody's watching this. Nobody took care of that. So whenever you go to an event, you're like, damn, they thought of everything.
Yes.
That's really something. But it takes all those meetings and all those people and planning and setting dates and
it is
securing artists a year in advance.
And to get to tour Tannehill's like on when it's empty.
Yeah.
And just go through all the halls and understand, and the restaurant next door. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those open air kitchens where you can see the guy like cooking right there, the open flame. Cool. And there's like a little stage out front for you're like a solo guy to be playing sometimes.
Yeah. Out at in the
bar
patio or inside at the lobby?
Inside, like right when you walk in. So
is that Paloma? I forgot the name of it. I don't know. It's the new Tim Love restaurant, right?
Oh, that one. No, this is right in Tannehill's.
It's in Tannehill's.
Yeah, right when you walk in there, just across from the bar.
Okay, to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the little store too.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you from Fort Worth? Did you start out here?
Grand Prairie.
That works. That's close enough.
Born in Grand Prairie. Moved to Arlington, went up to Denton for college, North Texas, where I took a shot at vocal and classical guitar.
What do you mean took a shot at it?
Well, I didn't finish, but I did super try.
It's okay.
I medium tried.
You got some classes knocked out.
Yeah, so that was something. But yeah, so then after that, moved to Fort Worth in '98. Lived in Arlington Heights for probably 15 years, I love that neighborhood. And then now out in the Ridgely Hills.
I bet you wish you'd have held on to one of those houses out there, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, in the 15 years from the time we bought that house to selling it, I don't even want to talk about it.
No.
It was ridiculous.
So
I'm not saying I'm like made it. Well, anyway, yeah, it definitely increased in value.
Yeah, Fort Worth houses. I've had mine for 6 years, going on 7. But even the value that's changed in 7 years where I live in South Hills.
But that neighborhood
Crazy.
that you're talking about, I had a landscaping business for a little while.
Oh, cool.
And HGTV Flipper Flop Fort Worth brought us in to do 6 episodes with them. So we redid the landscape for some of the houses over there.
Oh, I would love that.
Whenever we started, just curiosity, I'm like, so what's the value on this? Like, what'd you buy it for? What are you going to sell it for?
Yeah.
And that's right whenever that neighborhood started to get hot and the prices started to go through the roof. And they were buying these houses for like 100, 120.
Right.
I mean, there were tiny little old homes that needed a lot of work.
Ours was like a 2-bedroom, two bath.
Yeah. And
only because someone put a second bath in it. Like, yeah, these are small.
and a
Maybe
year ago-
1,400 square feet.
I think a year ago you could have sold it for 400,000.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, the
Yeah.
smaller, less updated homes were going for that.
Yeah.
Well, and
That's
some of them
just
had
insane.
some weird quirks. I mean, little bitty closets, metal kitchen cabinets. I mean, they were
No closets.
vintage. Yeah. Or
In
like,
the 20s, it's like, you didn't need a closet.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you going to put in there?
but when I was looking, they were already expensive, which is why I ended up where I did.
Yeah. Old homes, tiny. And
We had
big backyards, though.
oh, yeah. We had the original flooring in that house set.
Wood.
Yeah, wood floor. It was built in like 1928 or 29, original flooring. And then somewhere in there, before us, there was severe water damage in the front room. And so, we bought the house and it was carpeted. Mm-hmm. And then after we bought it, we like start pulling up the carpet and we're like, holy crap, there's some seriously beautiful, I guess it's oak.
Yeah.
Hardwood floor.
Don't get me lying.
Like there's some seriously nice wood floor. And so we pulled up the carpet everywhere and we're like, woo, the front room looks amazing. Oh, the dining room looks amazing. And then you get to that one bedroom and you're like,
Someone was murdered here.
oh no. Yeah. And the wood was all warped and rotted and everything.
Yeah.
And so we actually took out the hallway and the front room and then redid it with brand new wood flooring. And so there was enough scrap wood flooring that we kept for repairs or whatever. But there was enough scrap flooring that when we moved 15 years later, my kids grew up in that house and we missed it. And so my dad, he's a woodworker. We took that wood flooring and pieced together and made a headboard
That's cool.
That's
for
so
their
cool.
bed.
Very, very cool.
And kept it funky too. You could see where the little nails were in it and the little rusty things, and we still had that. So,
That's so cool.
yeah, we made a headboard, and it was perfect and rough on the edges. All the slats just kind of are jagged.
Y'all still have them?
Still have it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like the neatest because we're like, man, we missed that house. That house was
That's neat.
so cool. But yeah, super
lot of
tiny.
memories there.
Yeah, and I mean, the neighborhood's great. The sidewalks. We could walk to Winslow's and all these different places around there, and Curly's. Where you get the custard. Yeah,
Frozen custard.
I mean, dude, we could get on our bikes and just ride to the Gingerman when it was there. Now it's that giant.
You know what? That's
Hotel.
another.
I didn't know
Don't
what
get me
took its
started.
place.
That's
I didn't
another
know.
awful loss that we
That was a
suffered
sad
here
one.
as a
I
city.
think
of
it's a
Fort Worth.
boutique hotel, but it doesn't look like it.
I haven't been by it
it's
since they
huge.
completed it, but for a while, it was just they cleared it out.
It was the church and the Gingerman, I think, and then just
Yeah,
It's
was just
giant.
an empty slot. And then whenever they started construction, or maybe a couple months afterwards, I was driving by it, And there's just a gaping hole like 80 feet deep.
Oh yeah, like parking or I don't know.
It's got to be parking, but it was just this giant hole, and I'm like, God, look at the progress. It's awful.
It's huge.
I don't know. And then Gingerman's is just gone. They didn't try to reopen anywhere. I went by the week they were closing. I walked in, and I had no idea this was going to happen. I walked in, and like all the tap heads were off the tap, and I was like, are y'all out of beer like entirely? What's going on? They're like, nah, we've got beer in all of these, and it's discount because once the tap's out, that's it. We're closing. We'll be closed next week. So all the taps are just being given away.
Oh wow.
Like, you see something in here you want, you can take it. Like, the owner has washed his hands of this place, so if you want something, take it. And that's why there's no tap heads. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So it was just such a kick in the nuts because I'd been going there for a couple of years. I was stationed over here at the where am I? Oh, yeah, right here. The base.
Yeah.
And that was one of my little hangouts. So, and they would do trivia, I think every Tuesdays or something like that.
Well, we did that.
It was a cool spot, man. It was a really cool spot.
I'm older than y'all because before it was the Gingerman.
Prove it. My back hurts worse than yours.
Okay, let's see. Man, yeah. Before it was the Gingerman, it was a very special place. I think it was called Rick's on the Bricks.
Okay.
And it was a restaurant bar.
Okay.
But I was...
Did it kind of look the same? Like same setup?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked just like that.
That was such a homey, like, it just felt good when you walked in there.
Yeah.
It felt like someone's house, like an old cottage or something.
Yeah, all the Gingerman, the one in Dallas, they all kind of look like that.
Yeah.
I think it's very...
I don't think I've been to that one. So
yeah,
is there still one in Dallas?
There's one left, and it's in like Las Colinas.
Oh, really? I used to play the one in Dallas all the time.
There's only one left open because that's what South Lake Cowtown moved into one of the old Gingermans too.
Oh, okay.
There was a flying saucer out there, that direction. I think either Dallas or Plano, maybe Addison, but that flying saucer was amazing. And it kind of felt the same way. It was just this real homey feel, but it was a lot bigger than Gingerman's. And they had plates all over the place. And it was kind of sadistic because it's like, if you drink 1,000 of our beers, you get this plate.
Oh, it's 200.
Is it 200? Was there a bigger one though?
Well, you just go
flying
around
saucer,
again.
Yeah, you do it once a year, and you have to drink so many beers, and they have to be all different ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you can do it over and over. So it's like you do the 300 beers, and then next year you do it again, and then you change your plate color.
Yeah.
And then you get a table, and there's a whole thing. We got all the details one day, just curious. But
I don't know why people are suffering liver damage all over the place.
Well, and we added it up. If you drank like 3 beers a day and then like took vacation days, like how many days you'd have to go there to do it. It was insane.
It was ridiculous. Yeah. So it's like, man, what are y'all trying to... I don't know. I don't think you should... That's a game that no one should play.
They still do it right now in Fort Worth.
And I used to...
They do.
I would play the Addison saucer. There was one on Lower Greenville.
I'm probably thinking of the Addison one then.
Yeah, and there's one in Memphis. There's one in Nashville. There were several, and I would play all of them.
Oh, you did the circuit.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I did a little flying saucer tour.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they all had the same kind of vibe, very neighborhoody, serious beer drinking, good bar food.
I'm trying to remember they had something on the menu that was just so damn good, dude. Like
they were serious about food.
Rocket Tots is one of the best.
I'd be driving around and
I'd
be driving around and I'd just get the craving. I'd be like, I gotta have that. I can't remember what it was.
Those are my two.
What was the sausage?
It's a pretzel with like the sausages on top, and then the cheese, and then you get the spicy mustard.
That's it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the loaded Rocket Tots are like a potato disc with like cheese, and then they like melt the cheese and has like goat cheese and chives and egg on top.
Okay, we gotta stop.
Go, Stephanie. Yeah.
I'm getting hungry.
One of the bartenders would come to Cowtown. I'd be like, "Oh no, I'm craving it. Thank you."
We still have one here. I wonder if they've got that on the menu.
No, they do.
Oh shit!
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go.
I think I know where I'm having dinner tonight. I think I know where I'm having dinner.
It's a great concept, man. It's been going for 20 years, probably. Maybe since probably like 94.
Are they talking about shutting this one down? I feel like with all the Bass family stuff going on.
It's one of the places I haven't heard yet.
Because they have an incredible outdoor stage area.
Yeah, it was Ado's before. Have you played there when it was Ado's?
When it was Ado's, we played there a lot.
Haven't played there now.
An obnoxious amount of times.
But not with
this
one.
Live crew probably has to.
But not with this one.
No, way back in the 90s.
Yeah,
we would play. Oh man, they made a stage inside in the very back, and I'm pretty sure that we were like there were booths back there, and I'm pretty sure they just put a stage over the booths. It was kind of
Oh wow.
temporary.
Yeah.
This has been 30 years ago, but we would play every Halloween there, every New Year's Eve there, pretty much every holiday.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they would. The booths in the back just became the stage. So you're like 4 feet off the ground now. It's like
Sounds a little scary. You're like,
And we play in the very front too. When you walked in, used to be like a smaller, little curved stage right when you walked in.
Yeah.
Oh, it was best times, man. We probably played there like 300 times.
I think it's really interesting, like the different sizes of stages you see at places. Like some places just have a riser, and that seems to work for the space. And then you go to places like Ridgely Theater or Ridgely Room. That one's probably 3 feet, right?
Couple
2.5, 3 feet, and then the taller ones that you think of like at schools or like the one we saw at Southside Preservation Hall. That thing it's 5 foot almost. It's huge.
Yeah, that one looks like an old theater, with like the red curtains.
Like a school. The schools have
been
the
in
big,
there.
It's where they do the dance classes.
I'm sure.
And then they have apparently they have a chapel, and then there's another room.
It's the old church, isn't it?
Yeah, so
I've been in there.
Yeah.
It's old timey looking.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Is it the bigger the space, the taller the stage? Is that kind of the rule of thumb?
Well, but those are a different kind of stage. I mean, like a restaurant stage, like we're talking about our little bar stage. These are like old venues that could do a theater or a play or a drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why they're raised, because you have seating, or you know what I mean?
It's a good point, yeah.
So you got to raise it above the seating.
I've just been kind of really hyper focused. Every time we go to a different venue, I'm looking at their stage setup, because we're going to put one out back, like I was talking about. And I don't know if maybe we'll just keep it with the little 12-inch by 12-inch stone squares, just keep it flat, or do we build up a stage, or we just do a riser for the drum kit, or and then the rehearsal room right here. How big should that stage be?
There's kind of proportions that need to be adhered to. Yeah, if the room is yay big and yay tall, then the stage would be. Yeah. Sometimes it looks weird, and sometimes.
Is there like a Fibonacci sequence for this kind of thing?
That's probably it. Yeah.
Something. So what do you got coming up, man? What's the next thing on the horizon?
Let me see. I'd have to look at my calendar, I think.
Let's pull it up. Let's tell these folks.
I know. I know
we got Grand Crew coming up.
Yes. So Grand Crew is owned by my friends, the Gwens. And that's in early February.
Is this a festival or
it's a wine bar on Magnolia.
Okay.
And they got great food. They actually have some nice beers too available. So
what's the name of it?
Grand Crew. It's right across the street from Maggie's R&R.
Is it new?
No, it's like a little wine bistro.
Okay.
It's right across the street.
Like it existed, and then that owner sold it to them. So it's and they've had it for quite a few years now. But it's a great space. It's a good spot. I'm playing the stock show on Monday.
Nice.
I see that.
Which is really cool.
Is this the last week for it? It's got to be.
It started on the 14th, so we've got a few weeks left. It goes to like early February.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, so we're just we're not even halfway, I don't think.
That says on the 23rd, and then the 27th you're at the distillery. Where is that at?
That's TX Whiskey. I don't know if you guys are fans of that stuff, but
I've been through there whenever nothing was going on, and I think even the bar might have been shut down. This might have been a COVID thing. I don't know, but I did go out there because me and a buddy of mine, shout out to Adam, had been going through quite a bit of TX, and he's like, "Oh man, they just opened up this new place over blah blah blah." So we ran through there and checked it out, but there was nothing going on. The thing I remember the most is the barrel room. Mm-hmm. They've just got floor to ceiling racks filled with barrels,
aging it and everything.
Yeah.
Where is this at?
I can't remember. I know it's kind of on the south side of Fort Worth.
Southeast Fort Worth. Yeah, it's the old Glen Gardens golf course.
Right.
Which that's
like
too old for any of us to remember.
Benbrook, Alito, like out that way?
It'd be like if you took 287 out of Fort Worth and you're heading to Arlington or 820. It's in that
area.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you pull in through the gate, and I think there's a guard shack there.
Mm-hmm.
And you look around, you're like, yeah, this definitely used to be a golf course.
Yeah,
I didn't know where it was.
it's nice.
Even if it's been closed down for a while, they've maintained it because now, are they going to use it for golf at all?
I've heard that if you rent it, because they rent it for parties all the time, if you rent it, then you have access to the golf course.
It'd be an excellent venue.
Oh yeah,
for anything. Lots of space, very nice.
Oh, I play there a bunch. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's real. And it has the scalability to make it a small, intimate thing.
Yeah.
Or if you use the entire area, you can have a
festival,
a large group there. Yeah. Like an indoor, outdoor.
That's really cool. I need to talk to them cats. Get them on the show. I want to talk about some TX whiskey.
Bobby's
I'm a fan.
been collecting the caps because they all have different things. My brother.
I had to throw them out, man, because whenever I was going through my TX whiskey phase, I was keeping the bottles because they were just too cool to throw away. And I'd seen a bunch of videos of people like customizing them and doing stuff with them, and I'm like, I could probably sell these. So I kept them, and before I knew it, I had an absurd amount, like
the
too
caps
many.
don't take up that much room.
No, not the caps. I was keeping the whole damn bottle.
It's easy to drink, man.
It's so good. Yeah, and then I got into my Jameson phase. And TX whiskey started tasting too sweet to me.
Right.
Because it is. It's a sweeter whiskey.
Oh, it is.
It's so good.
It's like dessert, baby.
Yeah. And
I just do it over ice. Like, I don't even...
I don't mix my whiskeys, which is, I don't know what that says about me, but...
That's the way I do it too, man.
Just put some ice on it and just gets better as you go. So,
it's great.
Yeah.
I always get a bottle when I play there, man.
That's awesome. Did they gift one to you?
I just try to make it part of the
gig,
part of the arrangement. I'm a fan. I'm gonna let y'all know.
Don't forget that bottle now.
Yeah. It's very good.
Well, we got your website here. It's bradthompson.com. This will be in the show notes, and then on Instagram it's bradthompsonfw. Is there any other social media thingies where people can find your content?
Let's see. What'd you say? The
website and Instagram. And then I'm going to find you on YouTube, and I'll put that in the show notes. Do you know what you are on YouTube?
I think it's Brad Thompson Music.
Okay. Steffi's looking it up right now. Go, Steffi, go.
And I'm pretty active on Facebook too.
Yeah, and you've got the Brad Thompson Music on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Do you have the blue check mark? This is something that I've recently been interested in. I don't see it on yours.
YouTube is at Brad Thompson Music.
I want to know how you get that blue check mark
on
Instagram.
Having enough followers, and then they have to verify you.
Well, I've got the same. Well, I don't, but Brad Thompson has 1540 followers on his Instagram.
That's not enough for a check, is it?
I have seen people with 1,200 with a blue check mark, and I know the Funky Panther. Another very excellent podcast here in Fort Worth. They've got 1,700, and they've got the blue check mark.
Is it like the Twitter thing where you pay $8 and you get a check?
That's a new thing. That's an Elon Musk.
Instagram is
not like that.
It's like celebrity status, but it's like, I don't know what bumps you into it.
I think there's a process, and I want to find out what it is because I want that damn blue check mark. And then I'm going to tell
Talk to your agent, man.
I'm going to tell you how to do it, and so you can get your blue check mark. Brad Thompson, musician. What is this? This is
That's
the page.
The Facebook.
Is that the page or?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Facebook.
Okay. Oh, it's just his Facebook page. Okay. And it just Brad Thompson, musician.
Yeah, Brad Thompson - musician.
Okay, cool.
Me hopping around.
Well, brother, thank you for being on the show. And anytime you'd like to come back, we're always here for you. And if we can ever help you promote something, just let me know.
Y'all are very kind. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
and I've known Stephanie a long time, so it's good to hang out with you.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and shout out to Stephanie for setting this up. This was I didn't actually know about you until she introduced me to you. So
she's good.
She's definitely a Brad Thompson super fan.
Oh, I want a super fan.
You got
All
one.
my friends are. The whole crew is.
Now you got two. All right. Fort Worth Roots, thank y'all for listening, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Big shout out to our new friend Brad Thompson. Sir, you are always welcome at the Fort Worth Roots studio. That was a fun episode. Really committed to trimming, staying away from edits. Trying really hard to give you everything as one big file so that it doesn't sound over processed. if you've been listening to previous episodes, you know that that's been a struggle lately. I've had people telling me I kind of choke the shit out of these episodes with all the edits. So I'm trying to just let it breathe. I hope that's working out. Would love some feedback if you ever have a cell phone in front of you and you want to reach out to us on our hotline. You can tell I'm stalling. I don't have it memorized yet. It's 817-988-1292. And you can just leave us messages. And I'm still kind of trying to figure this phone out. And to prove it to you, before we get out of here, I found a message today from somebody that had left us a message a while back. It was it was this February, so almost a month ago. And I was like, well, damn, that person's going to think I'm a liar. Here's the thing. It's a little vulgar, but we're at the end of the episode here. And I think you can handle it because you're an adult. And I told you people, unless it was just totally batshit bananas crazy, I would play it. So let me find this daggum thing. This new phone, I bought it just for the camera. And so you could leave me funny voicemails. So let me see. I think I've got it tuned up. Let's see what we got here.
Hey man, I don't like this dang old podcast you do, man. You talk about all these local people, man. You gotta talk about people from outer space, man. Talk about more space people, man. There's space people. That's what people want to hear about. I don't want to hear about your goddamn Fort Worth roots. That was shit.
So, obviously, not relevant. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. And it didn't add any value to the show. But somebody left a voicemail, and I'm trying to stick to my word here. So there you go. I don't know who that was, but thanks for calling in. Again, our number is 817-988-1292. And you know what? If that's the best you can muster, that's okay. But I feel like you could probably leave me something a little more ingenuitive at best. Anyway, we've got some incredible episodes coming up, and I might have to just get over this shit, but I don't like telling you about stuff I've got coming up until we've done it, because I don't want to tell you about it and then you suffer the disappointment of it not happening. That has happened in the past. Tell you a quick story. I got to sit down with our new lacrosse team. This was over a year ago, and they hadn't even done their first game yet. And I think I was one of the first, if not the very first podcasters to sit down with the team and interview a bunch of the guys on the team captain and a few other guys. Also, the owner of the team. This was a pretty powerful recording. I was nervous as shit. They brought me up to the Omni Hotel, and I was there for their, I think they called it Media Day. The news channel was there, all sorts of important people. And I got a little spot with my Roadcaster and my Fort Worth Roots sign in the back. And it was cool. I felt like I just made it. I just made it as a podcaster. It's a big moment for me. So hour and a half into this, I've done all these interviews with these different people. And we've taken pictures and done all this cool stuff. And I've got the Roadcaster going. The red button is on. It is still recording. And if you've listened to the show enough, you know I've talked about this issue with the Roadcaster. If the power gets disrupted, you lose the whole damn file. Well, the team captain kicked the power cord out of the wall. I lost the whole file. I've been so embarrassed about that I just this week, after over a year, I think, of groveling in shame, I just reached back out to them to see if we could do it again. But I was just so embarrassed. Nowadays, I carry a power supply with me, so if the wall supply, the wall jack outlet, whatever, is questionable, and that one was, it was a little shaky, I can plug into a power pack. So we've corrected that. But anyway, bad moment. And I thank God I didn't tell you that, hey, next week we're going to have the, what are those guys called? Panther City lacrosse team on the show. Because I don't know. I was sick enough as it was if I had told you that it was going to happen, and then it didn't. So anyway, that's why I kind of hold back and I don't tell you about cool stuff that's coming up, because I don't know. I just want to make sure it happens before I start promoting it. But I need to do a better job of that, promoting this stuff, so you know what's coming up and you can get excited about it. Hey, let's talk about our sponsors real quick. I told you about Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk. You hear about them every week because they're awesome and they take good care of the Fort Worth Roots podcast. Big storm today. I don't know how much damage there was. Sam S. I always mess up your last name, brother. Sam from the Failed Podcast. Good friend of mine. Awesome dude. Very creative podcast. If you haven't checked that out. It's got a similar format to mine, but it's through the lens of failure. They start talking about what people have had to go through in order to get where they're at today and how failure helped them succeed and get to that point. I love it. It's great. And Sam is excellent. Anyway, he was posting pictures of, I think it was a quarter. He had a hailstone next to a quarter. Always talking about people and the things that they compare their hailstones to. My mom texts me and she's like, there's orange size hail falling out of the sky. I'm like, that's probably about the same size as softball. Why didn't she say softball? Maybe she's just got citrus on the mind. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I'm getting way off track here. Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk would be the guy to call, and he's offering the Fort Worth Roots podcast listeners 50% off a roofing tune-up. And in my mind, you need one anyway. That's just a fact. But in my mind, this would be a great time to do it. If you have any idea, any inkling of a thought that there might be something wrong with your roof, this would be a good time to get a qualified roofer up there, taking a look, walking around with his caulking and fixing up stuff. More than likely, I'm just going to put this out there in the universe. There's nothing wrong with your roof. But get Darren up there and make sure. Because if there is something wrong with your roof, you can have water intrusion and it can cost you thousands of dollars rather than the little measly fee that Darren charges to get up there and take a look around. Anyway, go check them out. RoofingSolutionsHouk.com, 817-692-8496. Shout out to WoodPostMetalworks.com. Still trying to get these dudes in the studio, dude and dudette. But whenever you go to woodpostmetalworks.com, you're going to find that they specialize in metal signs with or without LED backlighting. Excuse me. Fence and gate repair or installation, light steel fabrication, industrial plasma cutting, and more. These people are very creative. There's a store now here in River Oaks called Atomic Then and Now. I can't tell you a lot about this store, but what I can tell you is that Woodpost Metalworks has some of their artwork in there. And some of it is just like examples of like the numbers on your house that you can put outside to show how cool and trendy you are. It's customized. Anyway, so you look at that and you go, oh, I want that, but like with my numbers on it. And they set you up, make you your own personalized steel plate with your numbers on it, and it looks dope. You should check it out. You can either go online, which is probably what I would do, woodpostmetalworks.com, where you can also use your offer code, podcast817 at checkout to get 10% off. Or you can go out there to Atomic Then and Now in River Oaks off of that main drag. What is that? I don't know. I can never remember that. Anyway, it's over there somewhere, and you can check it out in the flesh. Houk Walker Originals. Go to houkwalker.com. They offer a huge variety of unique and personalized gifts. Also, laser engraving to customize just about anything you can think of. They're at it again. They made some customized Pulav Crew cups, kind of like the Fort Worth Roots cups they made last September for our event. But what you need to know is these look really good and they last. I've still got people using those cups. I gave the last one away to somebody. I can't remember who now. Oh, there was an event down off 7th Street with Fort Worth Forever Crew putting on an event. I gave away the last cup. Pretty upset about that. I wanted to keep that one. Oh well, we'll get more. And we'll get them from Houk Walker Originals because they do an outstanding job. You go to houkwalker.com to see what I'm talking about. That and more. They don't just do laser engraving. There's a bunch of other awesome stuff. Lots of woodworking stuff. Custom wood pins and things like that. Go check it out. Roofing solution. Yeah, we talked about that. All right. On to our friends at Pouring Glory. They've got a thing tomorrow. It is a St. Patrick's Day thing. And they got a bunch of specials. I just read them off at the beginning of the show. Here it is. I found it again. St. Patrick's Shenanigans and Specials. Corned beef and cabbage. Okay. I mean, I know it's coming out of that kitchen, so I know it's good. I just don't know that I've had corned beef and cabbage. But it's going to be good. Scott's making it. $4 Smithwick's. Also don't know what that is. $4 happy hour from 3 to 7. And, of course, their $3 daily draft. So, anyway, that's tomorrow. Love Pouring Glory. I go there probably twice a week, at least once a week. Because it comes down to prices are crazy right now. We all know it. eating out is a luxury. And so whenever I go, I'm not going to cook tonight. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to eat. The first thing I try to think of is, who do I want to support? Because as our economy starts to tighten up, as the gap between earnings and cost of living continues to widen, there's going to be some issues, man. Not everybody's going to make it. And so but listen, before they were a sponsor, would go in there just because the food is amazing and I want to support my friends. And that was before they were a sponsor. Now, I just kind of keep up the same thing. But I love the people there. It's got a real chill environment. And I strike up conversations with people I've never met before all the time. It's a large medical community, would you call it a following? They're in there all the time. Doctors, nurses, specialists, things like that. Just good people, man. It's in a weird spot. So I think a lot of people miss it. It's on its own little island in the middle of a field away from all the other buildings, which is perfect because not everybody knows about it. And I don't like crowded venues. So they do live music, and they've got dog park Sundays where you can bring your fur baby and it can run free in their outdoor patio, which is actually pretty good size. It used to be their parking lot, and then COVID hit, and they're like, we need an outdoor area. So now they have a huge outdoor area. Still looks kind of like a parking lot, but it's fenced in, it's gated, it's very secure. Your doggo will be safe. They've got water bowls and all that good stuff. And I think Sarah's got some cat food. Check with that. Anyway, okay, that's all the sponsors. Events you know about, I don't even have to read them now. Psychedelic Panther is April 7th. And they are going to be on Friday and Saturday. It starts April 7th. 2 stages out at Lola's. I don't know what the cover is this year, but I do know it's going to be amazing and worth every penny. There's going to be vendors out there. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. But if you didn't check out last year's Psychedelic Panther that we did at Main at Southside, you missed out. You don't have to miss out this year. It's going to be excellent. You got 2 days to choose from. They're doing it 2 different ways. You can buy a pass to visit both days, so you can see all the bands, or you can just do individual days. So awesome stuff. Friday and Saturday, April 7th. All right. And then Pouring Glory is putting on a 420 event. This is on a Thursday, and I just couldn't be more excited that we're going to have that event right before the River Oaks Spring Fest car show. So April is it's my birthday month, okay? I was supposed to get a break here. Anyway, so 420, and we're still kind of getting some details together, but it sounds like Denver Williams is definitely going to be playing. If you haven't caught Denver Williams play yet, this is somebody that you just can't miss. You need to come out and you need to see Denver play. There's going to be other musicians there. I do not have their names in front of me. We're still ironing out some details, still talking to people about this whole dilly whapper. But it's going to be fun too. And as more details come out, I will keep you informed. And then, of course, the River Oaks Spring Fest car show. I know. I did the same thing last year. I just talked about this shit nonstop for months in advance. But whenever you put on an event this size at Camp Carter, 300 and something acre facility with zip lines, kayaking, archery, horseback riding, food trucks, over 88 vendors, Was it 300 classic cars? 330, I think. I get that mixed up. The acreage and the number of cars, I think I'm mixing those up. But it was a lot of cars. I think it was 300 and something cars. And the guy that was counting heads stopped counting at 7,000 people. And that is not including the vendors or the classic cars that registered for the event. None of that. It's all the people that came in from the community. So pretty damn good turnout. And they're still building on this thing. There's more details to come. So I need to get with Darren. We did an episode with him not too long ago. But it's all about the River Oaks Spring Fest car show that's coming up this year. And just a really good excuse to sit down with Darren and shoot the shit. So go check that out. It's the last one we did. We did a sponsorship episode with him too. I think those are back to back. So if you don't want to hear about roofing, don't click on the sponsorship episode. Click on the other one that we did with Darren just recently. Okay, I'm just blabbing now. what else? We got the sponsors. We got the events. Brad Thompson is awesome. We went and saw him seen him over at, I can't remember the name of the place. But he's amazing, and the guy puts on an incredible show. He's got great energy. I find myself talking about this a lot, but the thing that I like about musicians, of course, they're talented skills on the microphone and the guitar playing and all the other musical instruments that they got, sure. But their stage presence, the way they put on their performance makes them a real entertainer. You know, it's more than just listening to a record. It's more than just streaming shit on Pandora, right? You're there to see a show. And somebody like Brad Thompson really delivers. He delivers. It's Brad Thompson FW on Instagram, and I will have more Brad Thompson information in the show notes. What is coming up next week? Okay. Bill Sibley, for sure. I'm going to drop that next week. And I think there's another one that I need to be dropping for you on Monday, but I'm going to put out 2 episodes. If you want some updated information about what's happening with the show, our TikTok, our Facebook, and our Instagram. Now, the TikTok is our dumpster fire, and I post some really off-brand shit on TikTok. Like the other day, my coworker was sitting in a truck next to me, and he had a butter tub, country crock or whatever. He had one of them big old, like 1-quart tubs, and he was eating out of it. And from where I was looking at him, it looked like the dude was just going to Chowtown on a tub of butter. So I took a little video, and that's on TikTok. So nothing to do with the show, but there's some stuff like that. And TikTok is just kind of my dumpster fire, my little dirty playground where anything goes. So we have some great episodes coming up. I'm trying to get these out as quick as possible because I do not want to have any more backlog ever. And we'll start doing a thing where it is we record on Saturday, we release it on Monday. I've got too many artists that want to be on the Fort Worth Roots podcast, and I'm doing people a disservice by having this backlog and making it so hard for people to get on the show. It's just a lot of work, man. And I'm not complaining. I love it. I feel bad because there are people that want to be on the show, and it seems like I'm dragging my feet. I was booking people for late May earlier, and whenever I was booking them for late May, I was thinking, can I really make this work? It's a full schedule. And if you've reached out to the Fort Worth Roots podcast and you did not hear back from me, I'm not ignoring you. I promise. I'm just trying to keep up with life and the podcast and your constant emails. So try me again, please. I promise you I'm not ignoring you. Most of you have my phone number anyway. But we will get you on the show. And I just have to kind of refine the process here. It's an administrative thing, you know. It's a workflow issue. But I'm getting to it. I'm working on it. If you'd like to sponsor the Fort Worth Roots podcast, that's where we're going with this, folks. I need to do this full time so that I can take care of all of our musicians and all of our artists and all of our comedians and our authors. Reach out to me. media@fortworthroots.com. And I have a packet that I put together, and I'm about to start dropping these things off at reputable businesses around Fort Worth. People kind of like Darren Houk and Scott from Pouring Glory, my friends at Woodpost Metalworks and Houk Walker Originals. If I can find more awesome businesses like this, and we all know they're here in Fort Worth, we just got to get them on board. So, anyway, one day, I will be a full-time podcaster working for you. Yeah. Okay. This was 20 minutes long. I'm trying to make those intros super short. Hope that's working out for you. But that means I get to really let it rip at the end here. Really blab my ass off. Did you take down the phone number? You were supposed to. Take down the phone number real quick. Let me give it to you one more time. Of course, I have to pull it up, so you got time to find what you're going to write it on. It's 817-988-1292. And you can call anytime for any reason and just tell me how your day was. I don't care. And then I'm going to play it on the podcast, just like I did that one person with their silly bullshit. So anyway, if you're going to leave me some silly bullshit, just know I'm going to play it. Everybody's going to hear you being dumb. You could probably do better. Okay. Now that I've berated the one person that actually did what I asked him to do, it's time to end the show. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday. See ya.